How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin, and today our topic of discussion is going to be frequent altercations. Frequent altercations. Now, I kind of touched on this in one of my other videos in regards to this comes down to doing an accurate self-analysis of ourselves. Sometimes you just have bad days. I know when I was younger, and sometimes it seemed like maybe the week you just couldn't get it right. Where one altercation is too much, but two, I would consider really having a bad week. It's just like, man, what went wrong? When you have frequent altercations, or you frequently have beefs with people, maybe the problem's you. If the problem is you, maybe you could stand to take it down a notch. I've met people, and I know people, and I have people in my inner circle where they're at odds with this individual. They're at odds with this one. And it's so funny because when you listen to them and they talk about each individual altercation, on one hand, it's like I can understand why you would be mad, but this kind of goes into what I talked about in the last video I did about being stubborn. I'm listening and I'm hearing what's transpiring between the both, and I'm like, it didn't have to necessarily be an altercation. It was because you wouldn't let a point rest, or you were coming at this person just as hard as you thought that they were coming at you, or you couldn't just go on your way. So a lot of the times when you're looking around, you have to ask yourself, what's going on? Man, am I having a rough week? Man, am I just being too touchy up on things? Maybe I'm just kind of not staying in my lane. If you're having frequent altercations with a lot of the people up around you, maybe it's you. I know it's funny a lot of the times to go, man, people are so complicated. People could be so difficult. All of that is true. But in knowing this, that people could be complicated, people could be difficult, people can have their own issues, people are facing trials and tribulations just like yourself, they're getting along. There's other people that are getting along. Everybody's just not in this ball of confusion and altercation. Some people have that stuff up around them. And it's funny because when some people have those things going around them where they're just into it with this one and that one and another, it's apparent when you're standing back looking at them, like, man, that person needs to calm down. You got to be mindful to make sure you're not that person. Because if one or two things pop off, I'm looking at myself on, man, where did that situation go wrong at? This is one of the things that I mentioned in my book, Kilimanjaro's The Arithmetic of Family Communication. The book centers around mother, father, and sibling relationships. And it takes two assessments. The first portion of the book, it looks at you. This last section of the book looks at you. And the way that I start each chapter, I tell you that it starts with the other person's viewpoint, not your own. When you're dealing with others, you have to put down, you're going to have to kind of get some thick skin about you. Okay, you're going to have to put down what you're thinking and you're believing, because other person has thoughts and opinions too. And just because you're trying to bring it on this day, maybe they're not ready to receive it. So if there's frequent altercations, maybe you need to dial it back, be a little less. You can still be you up off in your own little world, but you don't have to be you where you're pushing you off on everybody up around you. Those are how altercations arise. Respecting how other people have their own thoughts and opinions and the way that they want to feel. And the way that I kind of look at it, man, I don't mind giving a person a pass, because I know that I've had a bad day. I've had a bad day, and maybe I've not talked the kindest, or maybe the best words hadn't come to my mind. And I would hope somebody would give me a pass, and knowing that I'm not like that all the time. It's not a reason to dump on anybody by any means. But if you're having frequent altercations with people, maybe it's you. You should always, anytime there's something that transpires that's negative, you always have some level of control. You should look back at yourself and go, okay, at what point in this situation did I have control? and then I lost it. I lost control. This turned ugly. How could I do something differently in the future? So think about it. Just think about it. Think about it. No, if you don't ask the question, nobody else is going to ask it. The thing is, you already have people trying to show you that the issue is with you through an altercation. That's probably the reason why you have an altercation, because they're letting you know, hey, you're wrong. Excuse me, I don't agree on what you're saying, and you're not accepting it. So the only person that can get down to the nitty gritty of it is you. Ask yourself the hard questions. What's going on? Why are there frequent altercations? So you can resolve it. So you can have healthier, constructive relationships around you. All right? Think about it. Till next time, my name's Ayin. Have a good one.